What's up, people? Welcome to my lair. You know, all us good supervillains have to have a lair. This is my lair. Listen, let's talk about McKinney. First of all, let me say this in the beginning. I called this. I said the night after this happened, when the first post started hitting social media explaining what it went down, I said then exactly what was getting ready to happen. I said that the next day CNN was going to have it all over the news, and Fox News was going to do their thing. They were going to protect the community, and they were going to side with the white people, and they were going to make sure that the officer had his say, and they were going to look at all the reasons why this, shouldn't have happened, etc., etc., etc. For those of you who were following my post at that time, you know that I basically said this. This is what the problem is, ladies and gentlemen. Along the way to this point, the mainstream media has forgotten one thing. These are children. This is not a bunch of grown people. This is not the new Black Panther Party descending upon a public meeting or something like that. These are a bunch of kids just trying to celebrate the fact that school is over and it's the beginning of summer, and for the first time in a month it hasn't rained every day for a week. These are a bunch of 13, 14, 15-year-old kids basically just trying to have a good time. Now, when it first jumped, I jumped over onto some of the pages of some of my neighbors over here in the McKinney area. And, of course, the reports were staggering in their inaccuracy. They claimed that the kids were fighting. I read one post that said that the kids were having sex on the grass and were leaving used condoms around for kids to pick up. I heard that they were drinking. I heard that they were smoking. These are 13, 14-year-old kids now. And that there were a couple of hundred kids there that didn't belong in the community, etc., etc., etc. And, of course, the mainstream media picked that up and they ran with it. And then later on, as more and more information started to come out, we find out that there was adult supervision. We find out that the kids were supposed to be there because the kids live in their community. But just like anything else, white people don't see us. They don't notice us. They don't even know that these kids live in their neighborhood because they don't have any interaction with these children. So they didn't know that they were there. So this is what happened as been reported to me, because some of these people I know. This is what happened. Two white women decided that they didn't like all of these black faces around. So they started with the racial epithets. They started with go back to your Section 8 homes type talk or what have you. And they decided that they wanted to put their hands on one of those kids. That's what the fight started about. That is the fight that everybody was talking about. They was out there fighting. There was one fight. Two white women attacked a child. That's what that was about. And all of those people out there that's putting out all of these false reports talking about how unruly and out of control these kids were, that's not what happened. So we can put that to bed right now. Okay. Now, understand this. If you are pro-police, if you are pro-law and order, if you want to feel like you are a part of white society because you live in the McKinney area, that's fine. Do you. But when 90% of your brothers and your sisters stand up and say, hold on, what you did was wrong. From a law enforcement perspective, what you did was wrong. Shut the fuck up. Get out the way. Because all you do is cause dissension. Because now white folks are hanging their hats on what you are saying by pointing and saying, look, even one of them knew that this was wrong. Even one of them knew that these kids were out of control. Now, you write books. I understand that. You trying to make a name for yourself in the world. You trying to up your book sales. That's fine. But, bruh, don't do it at the expense of one of our children. And also understand this, ladies and gentlemen. There is no law in America against talking shit to the police. That's what they'll have you believe. Well, if she had just left, but no, she was running her mouth. That's not a crime. Anywhere in America. White people do it every day. YouTube is full of videos, literally full of videos, showing white people cussing the police out, spitting on the police, throw the ticket back in their face, speed off, run over their feet, do all kinds of crazy shit. Nobody says anything because it's not a crime. As long as you're not threatening in your behavior, it's not a crime. You can say what the fuck you want to say to the police. Fuck them. You pay them. You pay their paycheck. So, in other words, you outrank them. Understand this also. It looked to me like everybody was leaving when the police got there. Everybody was leaving. So, for all of those people who keep hollering and screaming about, well, she should have just left the first 5 times he told her. What if she lives north? She's walking north. You gonna make her go south because that's what you want to do? That's leaving to you? Turn around and go the other way? You can't prove that she wasn't leaving. She didn't sit down on the sidewalk. She was walking. You stopped her to tell her to leave. Second point. Understand this also. She was not on private property. You can say what you want to say about whether or not you live in this community. Bullshit. United States Supreme Court in the 1800s, way back in the day when basically we were still second-class citizens on paper, said that you have the right to go in this country where the fuck you want to go. She was on the sidewalk. So you can't say that she was trespassing on a public street. That's what they'll have you believe. They'll have you believe that there are certain places in America that you can't go. That's bullshit. You go where the fuck you want to go. As long as you don't step on somebody's personal property, you fine. The law protects you. So they were all the way wrong. 100% totally all the way wrong. And for those out there who say, like I saw on CNN, dusty ass white woman said, well, what makes you think this was a racial situation? Where is race in this situation? Because if you look at the videos, all those white folks, every last one of those white folks, you ran past them to only get the blacks. And for those who might say, well, they called the police because of the blacks. Which specific blacks did they call the police on? The one in the red bikini? The one in the yellow bikini? No, the little boy in the brown swim trunk. No, the little boy in the black swim. Which one of them did you call the police on? There's a couple of hundred people out here running and screaming. They said, well, why did they run? If I look up and I come around the corner and I see a white man with a gun, full tilt coming down the sidewalk, I'm running too. Look at the climate that we live in. Look at how we have been systematically exterminated on numerous occasions because of things that people perceived that we did. What was Tamir Rice doing? What was John Crawford doing? What was Eric Garner doing? What was Walter Scott doing? And so you're telling us that we don't have a right to run, that we should not run when we see the police? That's what you've ingrained in us. Because you push this on us every day. Every day you can turn on TV. You see a group of white officers beating the shit out of some person of color. And increasingly some white people. This is what you guys are. For those brothers out there and those indifferent white people, you guys are like it was early in Nazi Germany. At the rise of Adolf Hitler, when Adolf Hitler had just come on the set, there were certain Jews, the bankers, the lawyers, the politicians, those Jews who had standing in the community. They made those Jews the overseer. They made those Jews the ones who cleaned the streets, who picked up the trash, who kept the other Jews in line while we got these boxcars together. And then as they trucked everybody off to the ovens and killed all those people, what do you think they did to the overseer? They took him in the back and they shot him in the back of their dumbass head. This is not about them against us. This is about them against everybody. Because as soon as they feel like they got us under control, who do you think they're coming to next? They're coming to your dumbass. Because you're not part of the elite. You think you are because of the color of your skin, but you're not. You think you are because you have a little money. You don't have near about as money as the people who pay them. the people who make the laws to have them oppress you. So what makes you think that you can be in the car when the car get ready to leave? That's because you're stupid. Because you fallen for the okie doke. Because you have decided that you're not a part of the normal groups of people who exist in this country. You are the normal groups who exist in this country. They just ain't come to get your ass yet. But that being said, understand this, and I'll tell you this on everything I love. This is why situations like that could get dangerous. This is what they're missing on CNN. It's damn sure what they're missing on Fox News, which has begun the character assassination, I might add. Read a Megyn Kelly's dusty ass on there today talking about, well, the 15-year-old, she was no saint either. Grown-ass white woman. You are seriously sitting on worldwide TV, because people in Russia get Fox News, impugning the character of a 15-year-old, and somehow you think that's fair reporting. Somehow you think that's something that people need to know, because it's begun. Now you're pulling pieces off of white posts in white communities. You're pulling pieces that's showing a little girl with the fuck you finger up and a selfie, like 20 million other little bitty kids do every day. And you pulling up pictures of the mother in a nice little cocktail dress. She might have been on her way out for a birthday, on a date, what have you. She took a picture of herself as if to say, you know, she's some kind of whore or something, because she ain't, she can't be, you know, what kind of parent is she? Look at this picture she took. You know, the character assassination has begun, because that's part of the process too. First, let's figure out why it is that they were there. What was wrong with them being there? Secondly, what did they do to make the police respond the way they responded? And third, let's find something in their past that they did and say, okay, well, see, this shows this is this type of person, and those type of people deserve this type of treatment. It's bullshit. All of it is bullshit. And it comes down to this. What you gonna do now? Patrick asked me, Patrick Irvine, UI, shouts out to UI Nation. Patrick asked me, said, okay, well, Jalal, what's going down in McKinney? What are y'all doing? Well, there were a couple of meetings yesterday. Very sparsely attended meetings, I might add. I had to work, so I couldn't go there. You know, I had to go make Mr. Charlie some money. You know, but be that as it may. There were a few people there. I wouldn't have went anyway. Even if I had been off, I wouldn't have went, because I don't believe in marching. I don't believe in, you know, we're going to all make up a bunch of signs and we're going to stand out and we're going to make people listen to us, because people are not listening to you. People, that hasn't worked in 50 years, you know. So what are we going to do now? You had a bunch of people that sat down in the middle of the street and blocked traffic and said, if we can't, you know, if we can't swim, you can't drive. Okay, that's cool. That worked, you know, for what, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, hour, 2 hours, you know. Then people were driving and you still wasn't swimming. But be that as it may, what should you do? First thing, get involved in your community. If you live in that community, if you pay your dues into the homeowners association, take your ass to the meetings. Raise these issues. Not 1 or 2 people, not 3 or 4 people. Go down there 50 deep, go down there 75 deep, go down there 100 deep, and demand that your complaints receive redress. Get involved in your city council meetings. It's sad to see going to a city council meeting where all of the city councilmen are white. Everybody in the office, in the audience, is white, and the only people standing up to speak are white, as if they're the only ones that have problems in this city. Get involved. What else can you do? Start voting in your local elections. Yeah, we all want to go and vote for the glamour positions. We all want to go and vote Hillary in or Barack in, or we know the only time we really pay attention to politics is every 4 years. That's bullshit. You need to get out of that habit, because guess what? It makes more sense for you to vote for mayor, alderman, city councilman, garbage collector than it does for you to vote for the Senate, for your congressman, or for the president. Because guess what? The trash collector, he determines when you get your trash picked up. The city council, he determines whether or not that pothole in the middle of your street gets fixed. Your mayor, he controls who's on his police force. and what policies and procedures that they should enforce. So you need to get involved in your local elections. Until you do that, they're going to continue to treat you any kind of way that they want to treat you. And there's basically nothing you can do. You can march, you can sing, we can hold hands, sing Kumbaya, but it's not going to do any good until you show them that you're serious. And I would do the usual, you need to quit buying Jordans or you need to quit watching Empire. We didn't beat that to death. Everybody knows that, right? This is not about your consumption. This is about where you consume. Instead of spending your money in places that disrespect you, go spend your money where people love you. Even if it means that you got to spend a little bit more money to get there, because there's not that many black-owned businesses in McKinney that I know of, let's put it like that. But if you have to go to Dallas to do your shopping, go to Dallas to do your shopping. Do what you need to do to support your own and stop supporting them. All those things, they might not seem like much in the beginning, but it's like a snowball effect. One thing leads to another. And next thing you know, you have a movement. I said a long time ago when Trayvon Martin got killed, I said we need to do the blackout. Nobody listened. Nobody listened. They think, okay, well, we're going to refuse to shop at Walmart because John Crawford got killed. Walmart don't give a fuck about the money that they make off of you. They make the lion's share of their money off white people. They don't give a damn about what you do. But I tell you what they do give a damn about. They do give a damn about whether or not you are important to the overall running of this country. Everybody, take a week off at the same time. Everybody, black policemen, black firemen, black lawyers, black judges, black retail workers, the brother that flips the burgers, the brother that's on the fries, the garbage men, everybody, take 2 weeks off. Just leave. Don't give no notice. Just leave. Get in touch with your community. Walk around your community. Oh, well, we got to buy gas. We got to buy whatever. You ain't going to starve in a week. You're not going to starve in 2 weeks. Walk around your community. Get to know your neighbors. Use that 2 weeks to clean up your community. Go down south. Reconnect with some family members that you haven't seen in years. Do that. And watch and see how that changes the society. Because we are the only ones that really don't realize how integral we are to the running of this country. We are the only ones that don't realize that, hey, what we contribute to this country makes this country run. Oh, and that includes the NBA. That includes the NFL. That includes Major League Baseball. What they going to do? They're going to fire us all. They're going to fire every black man in America, every black woman in America if she don't go to work. No. They're going to listen to what the fuck you got to say. That's what they're going to do. Because then they're going to start losing money. And they're going to start losing money in the B's, not in the thousands. Because you bring value to that workplace. Value that they are hard-pressed to actually replace if you're not there. But you're not going to listen to me. You're going to go back to doing what you always do. You're going to go back to letting opportunists come in and set up a microphone and speak for the community when they're not even from there. Nobody even knows who this person is. We know him from YouTube, we know him from TV, but we really don't know this guy. That's what we'll do. We'll always look for somebody else to pick up the baton and run for us instead of running for ourselves. So, that being said, again, like I said, this is Jalal Tariq from The Lair, Ghost in the Machine. Follow me on Twitter at Jalal Tariq. Follow me on Facebook at Jalal Tariq. Follow me on Blogger at Ghost in the Machine. Follow me on Urban Intellectuals as Ghost in the Machine. Follow our pages. Follow our movement. Because we got some ideas. And we got some plans. And for that, peace and love to all of y'all. Get your head out the sand. And quit letting people just treat you any kind of way. Let me add one more thing before I leave. I don't know about some of the fathers out there, but think about it to yourself. You don't have to put up in a post. You don't have to stand, say it to nobody else. Look at yourself in the mirror and want to see how dangerous those situations are. Ask yourself, if that was your 14-year-old daughter and you came around the corner and you seen that white man with his knee on the back of her neck and his other knee on her spine, bending her spine in an unnatural condition, what would you have done? How many funerals would it have been if that was your child? That's why you have to get on this type of shit when it happens. This little bitty shit can lead to really big shit. Because I'm telling you, on everything I love, if that was my child, he'd have killed me right there in the grass. On camera, in front of all them white folks. He'd have killed me. Because I'm getting you off my child. I'm protecting my child to my last breath. And if you not that type of person, if you can run up and try and talk to that man and try and figure out what went wrong and why he has your daughter face down on the ground with his knee on the back of her head and on the back of her neck, then you're not a father, bro. For real, you're not a father. You worthless. You might as well put your kids up for adoption because you worthless. Because that had been mine, it'd have been some trouble. It might have been some trouble if I had walked up and that wasn't mine. It might have been some trouble. But be that as it may, for that, like I say, peace. I'll let y'all later.